Hey guys, this is going to be a review of the Fangshi Shishuang 2x2. The actual Chinese pronunciation is the Fangshi Shishuang. I would like to thank Wallbuys for sending me this puzzle to test. I have ordered multiple times from them and they've always been very good at giving me the right puzzles and helping me out when there's any problems with my order. So we're going to go over the box first, even though no one really cares about the box. It just looks cool. It's basically the same as the 3x3. So on the green side, it says Fangshi Shishuang. So it's just saying what the puzzle is inside, and there's the Fangshi logo. On this side, it just tells you the size of the puzzle. In this case, it's a 55mm. And on here, this is basically their logo, I think. It says Li Jing Suan Nen, which roughly translates to try my best, and then the last 4 words here is Fangshi Mo Fang, which is Fun's puzzle, or Fangshi cube, basically, literally. So this is just a picture of the mechanism, the 55mm mechanism, as you can see the outside border. So it looks pretty cool. It's very airy, and that contributes to the feel and everything else about the puzzle. So the price of this cube is about $12 to $14, which makes it about the same price as the Moyu Ling Po. It's slightly more expensive than the Wit 2 version 1, and it is cheaper than the Diane Zanshi 2x2. So the sticker shades on this puzzle are the standard Fangshi shades. This is the comparison to ISO half brights. Here's the yellow. The red is about the same. And then this is next to cubicle half brights. So everything's just slightly duller, and it doesn't mess with my recognition at all, but it might mess with other people's recognition. This is exactly what replacement stickers are for, so if you don't like the shades, you can just change them. I'm pretty sure the cubicle will have, or they already have, the stickers for this puzzle. So this cube is 55mm. It is slightly bigger than the Wit 2 2x2. It is almost exactly the same size as the mini Fangshi. And it is slightly smaller than a 57mm Weilong. And it is about the same size as the mini Weilong. So the size of this puzzle, since most 2x2s are 50mm, but this cube is 55mm, it feels bigger than other 2x2s, and going from this to this 2x2, it just feels really small. Like, the 2x2 just feels a lot smaller, and like, I don't like how small other 2x2s are now, since I got used to having a 55mm 2x2. Some people might find it too big, but I think it is perfect for me. I found the Diane 2x2 to be much too small, the Ling Po was okay, and the Wit 2 was okay, but this is the ideal size for me. as far as the size of the pieces, the edge looks small, but they're very effective. This cube has never popped, and I can't even get it to lock up at all or pop in the time that I've had it. And this is pretty loose tensions, as you can see. It's pretty loose. So it's never popped or locked up at all. And the corner cutting of this puzzle is exceptional. It can do more than line to line, and yeah, that's about the maximum reverse cutting it does. The problem with this puzzle is that it will cut the other way. As you can see, if you try to reverse cut that, it's just, sometimes it goes the other way. Like if you want to reverse cut this, it will reverse cut, but if you do that, it will go the other way. And when it's doing that, it requires a little more force to get it to cut, but it's still average amount of pressure. It corner cuts very well, and it is a very fast puzzle. And this puzzle has gotten a little smoother since I've had it, and I've only done about 200 solves on it. That is 200 time solves. I've done much more untimed solves, but the corner cutting is very good. It's the same or better than the other popular 2x2s on the market right now. So when you order a black Fangshi, you get a Fangshi that is black but has a primary body, so it just has black caps on it. Everything inside is primary plastic. So onto the mechanism. This is what the mechanism looks like. So this is a centerpiece, just like that. And you have two types of edges, like most modern 2x2s. There's 9 of these, and these are just regular edges, and then you have 3 of these types of edges which lock onto the core. So here I have the core, so that edge just locks into the core like that. It utilizes these parts of the core very well, and it's really hard to get in, so I have an explanation on how you can get these in my assembly tutorial. And then the corners come together like this. You basically have your base stock, your corner, and there's room for 50mm tiles, and you basically insert this in here, and then you just turn it to go on top of those 3 holes. There's 3 holes right there, and then you just pull down, and that's how you do that. And then you just put your corner on top like this. So you have that. You have those 3 things, and then these 3 pegs. You just put the peg inside like that. And that's how the corner comes together. And sometimes the corners do this, but it doesn't do anything during the solve. So it doesn't really matter because the edges keep that from happening outside, like while the cube is actually assembled. So this cube is very fast. This is one of the faster 2x2s I've ever tried. And I've tried all the popular 2x2s out there on the market. And earlier in my videos, in my first impression video, I showed that it was possible to do a U2 move with a U flick. It is still possible if I put a lot of force into it, but it never happens in actual solves unless I want it to happen, and it's still very easy to control the cube. Like, you don't overturn much on this cube, and even if you do, the excellent corner cutting covers it. So the corner cutting of this puzzle is very good. So if I do, it can do regular corner cuts. Well, that was a reverse. It can do regular corner cuts, and if it doesn't regular corner cut, it just reverse cuts. So if I try to do a reverse cut there, it does it. If I try and do it a little further, it cuts the other way. So you're not going to get lockups, and I've never had any major lockup issues. I don't think I ever had a lot of minor lockup issues on this cube even. And this cube never pops because of the mechanism. The edges make it impossible for you to even assemble this cube without taking a screw out. So this cube is very stable, even though it sometimes might feel unstable because of how light it is and how fast it can be. And I have super loose tensions on this cube. Well, pretty loose tensions on this cube, as you can see. And it's never popped or had any problems for me. So this cube has replaced my old main. My main for 2x2 used to be the WIT 2 version 1, and it's been the WIT 2 version 1 for a number of years already. But this cube has basically everything that I prefer in a cube. It's fast, it's smooth, and it's the perfect size. So I prefer cubes that are smooth, fast, and quiet, but I am willing to ignore all or any or all of those if I get better times on it, and I do. I am almost consistently 3 to 4 seconds on this cube, and I use Ortega. So I did an average of 100, and every single time, except for a few, were 3 or 4 seconds. There were almost no 5-second solves, and if there were, they were very low 5, like 5.0 something. And then I had some 1 to 2 second solves, but those were very lucky cases, obviously. And the WIT 2 version 1, I used to get giant ranges, like 1 second solves, and then the next solve could be like 8 or 9, because of various things that happen during the solve, such as fail recognition and just not looking ahead enough and locking up sometimes. So I really like this cube because it's perfect for me, and it's gotten me to appreciate doing 2x2 a lot more. Like, I want to learn more algorithms now because of how much enjoyment I get out of using this 2x2. So I recommend this cube to anyone that feels like their 2x2 is not fast enough or big enough for them, and they would like a cube that is smooth, and they don't mind having a loud 2x2, because this 2x2 is actually pretty loud. And if you feel like the cube keeps slipping out of your hands or something during solves because of how small it is, I recommend you try the 55mm 2x2 because it's bigger, and it's the same size as mini 3x3s, like the mini 55mm 3x3s that are out there on the market. So if you So this is the end of the review, and I'm going to just show you some solves that I have done. So you can just leave now if you want to, or stay and look at how the 2x2 performs under regular speed solving conditions. Thank you for watching.